Welcome to Thrasher's instructional video, How to Skateboard. We made this video because we feel there's a need to showcase the modern fundamentals of skateboarding. Hopefully, you can use these segments as building blocks to make you a better skateboarder. Check it out.
Now that you're involved in skateboarding, the first thing you're going to want to know is to go out and get a board. What kind of board you want to get, how to put your tape on, your wheels, bearings, trucks, bolts. And so right now I'm going to show you how to put some grip tape on a board, how to grip a board. You're going to want to put it on from one end to the next and without getting bubbles in it. You're going to want to You got to measure up your lines too so you don't come too far off on the side. Put it on one end, pat it down slowly, moving towards the other end, making sure most air bubbles are out of it. All the way down to the end. Next, you're going to want to file the grip tape to feel the edge. Making sure that you get a nice line that you'll be able to cut from. Next, you're going to need yourself an X-Acto knife so you can get a good clean cut of this grip tape. Start at one end, keeping the blade angled so you don't cut into the wood. You come down along the line, try to keep it smooth. Put it around here. Close your knife so you don't hurt yourself. And now you're ready for bolts. Okay, you're gonna need some kind of sharp object. You can even use bolts that sometimes you poke from this part of the board down, poke your holes and see where you gotta go with them. So once your holes are all open, it'll make it easier to put your bolts in. Place your bolts in the holes. Well, now that your bolts are in place, you're going to have to put on your trucks. You're going to make sure that your pivot is always towards the inside of the board, because if you go like this and you have your pivots out, you're going to be riding pretty squirrely. So let's put this on right here. Just place it in over the bolts. Tighten up your nuts a little bit just to get them ready. It's usually easier to have your board on the side if you're going to be tightening up your bolts. Use wrenches such as these. Make sure not to countersink your bolts too far. Sometimes it leads to a broken board. So, making sure that you try to get your bolt flush, but not too deep. This is the bearing. Goes into the wheel. Usually have a tool such as this. Fits right over the bearing. Apply pressure down until it's inside the wheel. Take your wheel, set it on your truck, making sure that it spins because sometimes bearings go in crooked. This one looks fine. Put your bolt back on. The right side there. Tighten it up. Making sure not to tighten too hard because then with too much pressure your wheel doesn't spin. But if you leave a little bit of space in between, you should be alright allowing the wheel to spin. Okay, wheels are on, trucks are on, board's there, gripped, everything's ready to go. But one thing before you take off out into the street, check your trucks. Get a good adjustment on how you like them, loose or tight. You can always tighten them down or loosen them up. But once you're done with that, you're ready to go out and skate. Go for it. Have a good time.
First, we're going to talk about the stance on the skateboard, which is the way you stand, basically. There's regular foot, which is this stance, or goofy foot, which is that stance, which is it's your left foot forward is regular, and right foot forward is goofy. And whatever comes natural is fine. Nowadays, everybody's skating both ways. It's like ambidextrous skating, switch stance it's called, or whatever you want to call it. But that's the first thing. And then you just kind of find your center of gravity over the board what feels natural, what feels most comfortable. Like some people have wide stances, some people have small stances, and it really just depends. So that's the first start. Okay, pushing. Regular footers usually push with their back foot, which is their right foot. Goofy footers usually push with their back foot, which is the same, which is their left foot. There's a push called Mongo foot or back pedaler, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's when you push with your front foot, your forward foot or your leading foot, and that's it's a weird thing. I guess you could have more control over your board with the tail sometimes, but it's a very awkward stance, and people say it doesn't look good or whatever. But if it feels right, then that's the way you do it. But usually just try to push with your back foot forward. I think it'll be better. Like this.
If you skateboard, you're gonna fall. What we're gonna show you here is a way to absorb all the impact through the whole part of your body. By maintaining a loose and flexible frame, you can absorb the impact of any type. Your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder are the groundwork for the rollover, what we're gonna call the tuck and roll. It's basically an old jiu-jitsu move, but we're taking it to the street. I'll show you. Nice and easy, all the impact, standing up, just like Kung Fu.
Okay, and what I'm going to show you now, today, it's really windy.